So there's this one woman, she's in prison and she's taken to TikTok to start reporting about some of the happenings going on in prison, some of the bad things that are happening. And I think it's starting to catch a little bit of attention because the things that she's exposing potentially are horrific. Let's watch.
Hey guys, this is Kay coming from LCI with Prison News with the days are as dark as black coffee. So unfortunately, one of our captains has died 2 days ago from COVID-19. There are 4 officers along with dozens of other inmates that have been hospitalized. They have started quarantining dorms, one of the dorms being mine, which really just means they've locked the front door, trapping me along with 80 to 100 other people inside. We have no way to social distance. We have no access to medicine. So please just keep us in your prayers. This is Prison News. Till next time.
Well, that doesn't seem like much of a normal TikTok video, but her name is Kiko Cop. Hope I said that right. But also she goes by K on TikTok. And these are 30-second recorded videos that she does put out, and they each cost $2 to then, I guess, post from inside the prison. And her family is the ones that are facilitating the posting of these, but she continues to expose things that are going on there. So she started this account. She's gonna spread the word about the disgusting conditions that she did point out there, but she went further. This isn't just the one time she's done this. She also posts about how the elderly in the prison are treated. Watch.
As far as mistreatment, I'd like to address the elderly, the neglect, and the treatment that they are receiving. I have met the elderly that will die in prison. They will never go home, even though they don't carry a murder charge. I've met old women with dementia that don't even know where they are. I've met women completely blind, stumbling around covered in feces, asking for help. They force inmates to tend to them, and it is their job title, whether they want to be it or not. I witnessed on 2 separate occasions inmate aides actually slit their wrists in hopes of getting a new job title because it was unbearable to think about continuing taking care of these elderly patients. These patients were covered in bed sores and needed medical help that they were not receiving. I do know that officers treated the elderly worse than they did general population. Oftentimes, these elderly would be standing at the window begging for pads or toilet paper just to be ignored. Also, their dorms smelled like pure septic. It was horrible. It's horrible.
So prisoners being used as healthcare officials, or I guess care officials for the elderly that have other issues that she pointed out there. This continues to go further and further. So one more instance really fast, friend, because this one specifically happened with Kay. Let's watch this.
This is Kay coming from LCI with Prison News with the days are as dark as black coffee. So I've decided it's important to tell you a very personal story of mine. Last Christmas, I found out I was pregnant just 2 weeks before being sentenced. My doctor said my baby was at risk and it was urgent that I be seen. I told my judge, but my judge denied me access to that appointment and sent me to prison. 6 months later, just an hour after my baby was born, she died in my arms. We may not be able to change what I suffered, but hopefully what I'm about to tell you will change things for others.
I just hope her direct, I guess, cadence and the way she delivers that there doesn't make people think, oh, this is just all made up. We should look into it. It should be investigated. And before I get into what the prison is doing, Farron, I want to get your thoughts on what we've already seen here.
I mean, it is truly disturbing, and unfortunately, it's really not out of the ordinary. We have seen reports for years and years and years now about the fact that we have prison guards who do not have proper training. We have inmates across the country that do not have any access whatsoever to proper medical care. We have courts that ignore these pleas. And so it is great that we finally get this voice from inside to tell us this on a daily basis, the horrors that are being experienced here. And it's really remarkable too how TikTok has become one of these, top advocacy platforms right now. We've seen it with people fighting back against the book bannings and spamming the, Texas abortion snitch hotline and the critical race theory hotline. But this is so powerful because it's bringing to light a problem that, we've talked about it on Ring of Fire. Nobody pays attention to it. It's not a sensational, oh my God, they're making fun of this Republican story, so nobody watches it. But this is powerful because it gets the message out there on a medium to people who would not ordinarily see it. And it creates a new, I guess you would say, generation of people who start to understand these problems, and it puts a personal face on it. And that's why this is so powerful. But again, there is systemic problem throughout our entire justice system, not just in courts and sentencing, but it goes all the way to what happens on the prison floors. That has to be absolutely just rebuilt. And unfortunately, we're not seeing movement there.
And there's not movement there because society in general doesn't care about folks that are in prison, because we're assuming, hey, they got themselves there. Whatever it is that they go through there, they must deserve. They're already being confined. That's the punishment. I mean, I don't get why then it has to be cruel and unusual or just neglect. Because if the prison wants to push back on this and make sure that this doesn't become a story, which I hope it does in a broader scale, they might not want to do these things. This is some of their pushback about what Kay has been doing. So in September, Kopp's mother was told that posting the videos violated the policy of the Florida Department of Corrections. The letter said that she would be denied visits to her daughter if she didn't stop posting the videos. Kopp was also revealed threats against her. The administration has just threatened me with confinement for speaking out to the public and government officials about what's going on here. I'm not gonna stop, and you deserve to know, is what Kopp said. So they also are threatening her with, I'm sorry, they're really bad with this in general. They're known for having their bad policies or their conditions, or potentially there's abuse of their prisoners, right? So in recent years, there was also another woman inmate named Cheryl Weimar. And she was beaten so severely, is what they were also pointing out, that she was paralyzed from the neck down, right? And then so when she was asking for a different work assignment because of that disability, and this is what then went in further. Weimar told the officers that they confronted her that she was having a medical emergency, and then she needed a psychological emergency, excuse me. The lawsuit said this, but they ignored her complaints. She had severe anxiety as well as bipolar disorder and other mental disabilities. They broke her neck, then quote, dragged her like a rag doll across the prison compound to continue beating her in a location not covered by surveillance cameras. So this is all very purposeful. And people aren't given their normal medical releases or any kinds of normal treatment like they should be humans. So if they wanna not be exposed any further, they might not wanna start punishing the one or few prisoners that are speaking out about this. I hope the attention comes and they need to have to answer some questions.
Well, I will just say the prison guard, job itself is so terrible. Other guards have spoken out. The pay is so low, they can't get quality people. And it is absolutely horrible. They literally pull people off the street one day, next day with no experience at all. You're a prison guard. They don't even know what to do. And unfortunately, it does attract people who are willing to commit these acts of violence against the prisoners.
Yep, because we just don't think that these prisoners are worth our time, our sympathy, empathy, or care. They're there.